Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Cancerians. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic. I'm sure you are. Shuffle it up one time, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Cancer here in mid-January? We keep it rolling. And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get this card out here. What do we got for Cancer, please? All right, quick. So this is a beautiful, nurturing, motherly, loving type of energy. I like it. Some of you might need some hugs and snuggles with a card like this, but there is a lot of care with this card. Very Empress-like. Now, before I start breaking that down, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But into the reading, enough of the promo. Let's have a look at this card. Gorgeous, right? So you see this woman, she's holding that newborn baby, that child. So to me, it's all about the nurturing, loving, caring. For a portion of you, this could represent a blessing from spirit, which is an energy I think I saw for you a couple of weeks ago, literally in a reading. So this energy is showing up once again. Aside from that, yeah, there could be something about creation, bringing something forth, like whether it's your future or something else. And for some of you, yeah, you might be extra affectionate in this time, all right? Whether you're wanting to give affection or whether you need it. You might need a big old hug. Don't worry, I got you. I'll give you a big old virtual hug, my friends. But let's keep it moving in the reading. This, like I always say, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. This Empress, motherly type of energy is really nice. But let's get it going here. I'll get you 3 tarot cards in the upright before we get the intuitive juiciness flowing. Let's shuffle it up for the Cancerians here. See what's going on for my friends, my guides. Talk to me. Still using the Smith Tiny Tarot. I love this deck. It's the most adorable one in all the land, in my opinion, thus far. But let's keep it moving. So, last week's reading, I did say like the blessing energy showed up. That was like 2 weeks ago. But last week's reading, there was a lot of fire energy, which could be very good. But the reading was titled An Explosive Talk. Okay, so explosive doesn't have to be bad, but I was catching a lot of fire. So hopefully none of you have been having arguments or disagreements. But let's see what we have for you this week. You know, energy is very fluid. It's always moving. So only take this how it hits for you, okay? Or we could be seeing your energy or someone you're linked to. Let's get these 3 cards out here, though. Let's keep it optimistic. What do we got for the Cancerians, please? All right, thank you. All right, so there's the 3 of Swords in position number 1. This, once again, this could be someone you're linked to that's going through a bit of something. This could be a trying time. All right, let's keep it moving here. Hopefully this isn't something bothering you. Don't freak out about that card, okay? Because we still have a lot to go, a lot to clarify. 8 of Cups, yeah. So some of you might just be wanting something to be over. I mean, intuitively, I'm getting messages already. You might just be like, all right, I'm over this. Like, I need this to, like, stop. I need this to go away type energy, okay? Not saying that's a person. If you're cross-watching, don't get upset with this because we still have a lot to go. But the 3 of Swords with the 8 of Cups, like, this is someone who wants it to stop. Like, this has to stop. All right, we have the Death card in the upright. Once again, don't be nervous about this card because this can be very good for new beginnings. It could also be a karmic type of energy. But let's go through it. It seems like we're going to have a multifaceted reading this week, lots of layers. So I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get the juicy intuitive stuff. Luckily, we have an adorable deck here. But in position number 1, the 3 of Swords. It is one of the most classic tarot cards. You see it everywhere. People love the design of this, the 3 swords cutting through the heart. But it does have some rough connotations attached to it. Now, it's all on a spectrum. It could be something very minor, like little anxieties, little nervousness, little gloomy one day, or this could be something like downright heartbreaking, depending, okay? But the way it was feeling to me is like there is something that's bothersome or something that's just not sitting right, that you're ready to just like process it for whatever reason. Now, once again, this could be someone you're linked to, really going through a tough time, all right? It doesn't just have to be you. But someone could be in some sort of pain here. Now, moving to the center, we have the 8 of Cups. I don't see this as a bad card. Okay, like I know it gets a bad reputation, but there's movement moving through this energy. So luckily, none of this is stagnant, none of it's stuck. But the Eight of Cups, to me, is neutral. It represents action, change, movement, just like the Death card right next to it. But you see the person walking away from the cups. So in conjunction with all this energy flowing, there could be something where you're like, yeah, I'm over this, and I really want to see how it plays out with the clarifiers. But it could be movement. It could be to or from, to or fro. So depending on what you're going through, maybe there's something you're wanting to move towards. Maybe there's something you're wanting to move away from. It's all very personal here. So we really need to clarify it. Okay, it's not bad, because usually the Eight of Cups walks right into the Nine of Cups, right? When you look at like the order of the tarot deck, into the wish fulfillment. Now, on the very back end, we have the Death card. For some of you, this could just represent someone you're linked to that's a Scorpio. Maybe you have some Scorpio alignments in your natal chart or things like that. This is a card of transformation. Yes, the imagery, it's a little bit spooky there on this card, but to me, it's all about that phoenix rising energy, like something rising up from the ashes, remaking itself, being reborn, a second chance, a new start. This could absolutely be it. A change of cycles, a shift of cycles. And just to mention that this could also represent karma. This is a karmic card. So whether it's karmic blessings, karmic retribution, whatever it might be, we really want to clarify it and see what it's about. It's transformative and it's powerful as well. Pardon me. But you see, as we move forward from this Three of Swords, all action here. So this is very movable energy. Let's dive deeper on all of it, Cancer. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, so we're going to shuffle it up and see what we got for you, my friends. Interesting spread this week. And like, it doesn't feel as rough as it would appear on the surface, if that makes sense. Let's shuffle it up. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's see what's up with that Three of Swords. And if you're a reader yourself or you're just learning how to read, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you think Cancer needs to hear, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Three of Swords. What's going on here with that Three of Swords, please? Quick, thank you, Magician. Okay, don't beat yourself up over something. Okay, like I'm getting the vibe of somebody like really beating themselves up over something, like, all right, this is my own fault, I did this to myself type of energy. And really watch out in the coming days and weeks for any sort of like self-confidence or self-deprecation type of energy. This could just be, once again, someone you're linked to that is like beating themselves up, like beating themselves over the head, like this is all my own doing, this is all my own fault. So the Magician is usually a card of manifesting and bringing things forth. So this could be someone that feels like they've made their own mess, or they're to blame for this Three of Swords energy, whatever it might be. Now, if it's something very minor, cool, that could be easily resolved. Make sure you're not purposely manifesting this in right now. Try not to think worst case scenario about things when we have an alignment like this, because you might subconsciously start bringing things towards you that you don't want when we have this. So your mind state, very important when this alignment shows up. We're going to keep moving. And of course, once again, this could be somebody who's like hurting. This could be somebody who's in pain, all right? But they're blaming themselves for it. It could even be like little feelings of guilt as well. I'm not going to pound that message too much. Let's see how the rest of it plays out, though. Just the self-confidence is important in this time. Let's see what's up with the Eight of Cups. Really want to get over to the Death card. Let's get Eight of Cups here, please. Thank you. Yeah, this energy is freeing up. We got the Four of Pentacles in reverse underneath this Eight of Cups. Like, yeah, I'm not going to cling on to this. Right? I'm not going to cling to it. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. Like, be free. Let's go. Let's get this moving. Like, a lot of you really might be in that mode where you feel like something in your life might be pulling you down, or there might be something that's working to your detriment and you're just over it. Like, that's the vibe I'm picking up here. Like, ever since the beginning, you know, I mentioned it with the Three of Swords, Eight of Cups. There might be something where you're like, all right, goodbye, good riddance. Like, I'm over this, or I'm over it, whatever it might be. To you, it's all very personal, right? So there might be a struggle or an issue or a situation you're going through that you're over it, right? I can't put it much more simply than that, Okay, that's just the vibe I'm picking up here. And we'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of this reading, but that's just the vibe, right? Like letting something free, right? Like this, be free. Let's see what's going on with that death card. Okay, like, all right, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. You see, I always have that thing where I just want to keep talking because I keep getting messages and messages. There's a lot of action still here, but let's just move over to the death card, because I never want to confuse any of you, right? I want to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible. So let's go on to the death card, right? If it hits, it hits. Let's go in on that. Thank you. King of Cups has been very common, aka Kyle of Cups himself. All right, showing up in reverse though, that's not how we like this King of Cups. So you might be having issues with another water sign when we see this, specifically a Scorpio for a portion of you. When I see the King of Cups in reverse, it does represent someone who might be emotionally sour, and we're picking that up on the front end. So this could represent two people who are in that mode. But a thing I'm feeling intuitively here with the cycle base of the death card and the King of Cups, like big emotional shifts, big emotional changes. So in this time, like your feelings about someone or something could be in for a huge overhaul or change. Just know that. Like now might be a big time of transformation and metamorphosis. There could be something where you're like, okay, I see that totally different now. Okay, like, so you might see somebody or something or a situation or an issue in a completely different light. Now that could be a very good thing. It doesn't have to be bad, but I'm catching this huge change of heart, this big change of emotion showing up here on the back end. Could it also represent karma? Absolutely, because the King of Cups could represent you. The fact that it's in reverse under the death card, this could easily represent like somebody catching a dose of karma, like karma striking for somebody if they've done you dirt or wrong. So do with that what you will. And just like here in the beginning, like someone feels like it's all their fault. Maybe something's not your fault, okay? Just watch out for the self-deprecation for sure. Let's go through and do a quick recap, because this was completely different than I expected it to show up this week, Cancer. But let's look here in the box before we get the shadow card. In position number 1, we have the Three of Swords with the Magician in the upright. Your mind state is very important here. This could be somebody beating themselves up over something where they feel like it's all their fault, everything's on their shoulders. There's a little feeling of guilt here for whatever reason, but it is super important to try to stay confident and not put everything on your shoulders. Keep your mind straight, your mind state good, and as simple as possible. Don't bring things towards you unknowingly when we have this. Don't manifest the wrong things into your life. Moving to the center, we have the Eight of Cups with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. There could be an issue or a situation that you were just over it. Like you might felt like you've been dealing with it for so long. I've been dealing with this for too long. I'm ready for the next cycle as we move over to the Death card. So whether it's a person, place, or thing, there could be something where you're feeling fed up with it. Moving to the back end, or you're just ready to let it free. Like, okay, go do what you got to do. The Death card and the King of Cups, Kyle of Cups himself, in reverse though. So you might be having issues with a Scorpio or another water sign, but a big vibe I was catching here was like huge emotional shifts, big emotional changes, changes of heart and things like that. For a small portion of you, this could represent somebody catching a dose of karma, or karma striking someone that may have done you wrong. So a portion of you that could go down in the coming days and weeks. So please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you one shadow card here. Let's see what's going on. Pardon me. So what's in the shadows for my Cancerians? My gods, talk to me. What do we got? I mean, lots of stuff happening in that spread, okay? But only take it if it hits. That's always the key thing when watching tarot. Never force it, right? You have a lot of different alignments you can watch. Let's see what's in the shadows. Thank you. Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords showing up here, my friends. So some of you might have issues with an air sign with the Knight of Swords. This is a conflict-based type of card. And remember, when we're looking in the shadows, we're trying to see the shadow side of each card. This is spirit warning against any hasty decisions. This is spirit warning against doing anything too spontaneous or being too confrontational. You may have had dealings with an individual that was very much emotionally closed off, and they're just very action-based and very spontaneous is what I'm feeling here too. But for a portion of you, it could just be a scar linked to an air sign, right? And I know I was speaking about all the other possible signs as well. but this is the fastest moving night, so there could be something you really need to slow down as well. Like, don't do anything too rash, don't do anything too hasty, because this in the shadows is spirit saying like, hey, spontaneity in the past didn't work out so well, so maybe get more like the Knight of Pentacles instead of the Knight of Swords. Do with it what you will, my friends. But Cancer, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. For the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful, adorable Smith Tiny Tarot. This is the deck I used in this week's readings. So if you'd like to get your hands on this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments which one of the cards from this week's readings you thought was most adorable. Which one do you like the best? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll announce the winners in my community tab at random. As always, my friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.